So the Super Dragon Ball Hero Celebration is very soon upon us. I mean, literally in like a few hours from this recording, we will get the Dokkan event teaser. Less than 4 hours from this video going up. I will cover that tonight, and we'll just talk about like heroes and any upcoming things. We should also get some like we might get some like event teasers too and stuff like that. We'll see how that happens. Usually the event teasers are like 24 hours after the Dokkan event teaser, but it depends. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. It's kind of weird, but regardless, right now I want to talk about the EZAs for the Super Dragon Ball Hero collaboration this year. Right here on your screen, as you see, all these characters should be getting their EZA here. Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, Tech Super Saiyan 4 Broly right here. I'm just gonna scroll through them here. Demon God Deborah, Demon Goddess Toa, the Makioka form of Demigra, Super Merror, and then Black Massian, Dark Mask King, and the free-to-play logs. Yes, because usually the free-to-play characters EZA the year after they're introduced. So we're going to talk about all these characters and what they could do to potentially be good, or at least what I would like to see from them. And then at the end of the video, I did go ahead and ask a question of what would you guys like to see from this year's Heroes EZAs. We got a couple of replies and quotes here that I want to go ahead and just take a quick look at. But yeah, without further ado, we'll go ahead and just take a look into these characters. So but a quick cut there. I had to actually I'm gonna go grab a drink, but okay, right here. So I just want to explain the reason why we know these characters are getting EZAs is because they usually EZA these characters 3 years after their initial release, in terms of their TUR awakenings, not the SSR awakenings. So again, some people may be at an initial glance thinking, oh, the Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, the Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, they should EZA too, right? Because they came out. That's wrong, because their TUR awakenings were last year, from what I'm recalling. Not in the year of 2020. They usually go off that. So like, even though like this character came out in 2019, 2018 actually, his awakening was in 2020. So that's why he's going to actually EZA now. So again, it's all these characters right here that got their TUR in 2020. So I mean, let's just take a quick look at them and what I would like to see. I did talk about this a little bit in the the Slot 1 Super podcast, which does happen every Friday on the Masked Negan's channel. It's me, the Masked Negan, and Dokkan Acid. Just a Dokkan podcast, in case you're not aware of it. Just a nice little plug, because everyone might not be aware of it. So, Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Vegito here. Again, this guy, it'd be really cool. Just, I think what they should do is they should combine this, right? Is what they're probably, like, I think I would like that for the best. Whereas like crossover or Giant 8 power category allies get Key 2 and then 40% attack and defense. And then they also get like 7 to 10% damage reduction. I think that would be a really good EZA for this guy, just adding in a bit of like that. On top of that, make him have, let's say, 20, 25, even 30% reduction baseline. Give him some forward and multiplicative stats, even if it's just like attack and defense on super attack. Make this greatly raises attack, greatly raises defense for the turn even. And then you can keep this high chance to nullify enemy super attack. And I think he's looking pretty good, including the EZA stat increases. I know that, in fact, I want to bring it up. Proton did actually post the EZA stat increases for these guys. And they have really, really, really good stats, a lot of these characters. I mean, we'll take a look here at Vegito's stats. You see here, this guy, 23.8k HP. Like, this guy being good helps the heroes team out just in general, because HP would get a huge boost right there. 21.4k attack and 11,000 defense. This guy has like LR stats when he EZAs right here. So he doesn't like getting such a huge boost in stats. He doesn't necessarily like need, like, with how his kit is already structured, I mean, adding damage reduction to a kit, like even just like adding like a max of 40% in total, considering a support and everything, wouldn't be that big of a change. You know, they gave physical burst like orb changing and 70% reduction, right? So, you know, this guy I think could get something like that in terms of damage reduction added to his kit. I think keeping the essence of his kit would work as well. And the damage reduction would help him against AoEs and help him ensure that he's always able to tank normal attacks. And then he has the chance to survive super attacks with the counter, which would be really, really good. And even with the damage reduction after he super attacks, some super attacks he probably would be able to straight up live. So that's another good thing, especially since most of the bosses in the game are ints. Like most of the like if we're talking about like the most difficult bosses in the game, again, there's like the Zamasu, obviously Fusion Zamasu, I mean the normal Zamasu stage with the first phase is int. There's the int Rose, there's int Omega, like there's so many int enemies, so this guy naturally as a physical character will be looking a little better. Now I am worried about this guy, Super Saiyan 4 Broly. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with him. I mean, I honestly feel like this guy is just like almost going to be unrunnable against Omega and Fusion Zamasu. I have no hope for him being good in those stages because he's tech, and then he gets such a huge amount of attack and defense when super attacking. Like he's going to be the definition of a slot 2 character, right? All of his stats are in super attack right now, and he could potentially get some before like at the start of turn to help with the multiplicative buffs, but I'm not really too sure if how likely that's going to happen. The only thing I could think of is if they gave him like a physical Beerus or even specific like Tech Pan type of passive skill. And I'll bring up Tech Pan as an example, because at bare minimum something like Tech Pan would help this guy a lot. But ideally we get something like physical Beerus, right? His EZA added to this character's kit. Where is physical Beerus? This guy. So Tech Pan. I guess maybe not Tech Pan because she has to be in slot 1 specifically, but again, reduces damage received 50% before attacking. And then this guy, he gets 70% reduction before he attacks, but then after he still has a baseline of 40%, right? So it's only 30% that is before attacking right here, right? So if Broly gets something like that where it's like, okay, he gets all his stats after he super attacks, but let's say he has 30% damage reduction at the start of turn, but then before he attacks he gets another 40% damage reduction, and then he has like at least like let's say 70% to 100% attack and defense start of turn, and he has that huge damage reduction. He won't be able to even against like Omega and Fusion Zamasu, he wouldn't take double digits from those bosses like at that point. But he would be able to live those compared to like straight up dying, which I think would be better than just straight up dying, right? And then let's say again he keeps about 30% after that. Give him the additional attacks. And I was talking about this with the Massian, but Ningen was saying, what if he gets an additional attack that's a high chance to become a super attack baseline, and then this still is there, so he has 2 additional attacks that's a high chance to become a super attack in total. Then give him like a defense raise or greatly raise his defense for the turn, and then like after he super attacks he has like the 30% damage reduction or so, and then he's over 1 million defense or something like that would be really cool. If you get lucky with those additional super attacks. And I'm thinking like the only extra thing they could add to this guy maybe is ki, just to keep the ki consistency, because if we talk about like if you do want to run this guy in the villain hero side of the team, right, and you can't necessarily always have him with the giant ape power ally, you can still like triple super and stuff, but you want to have that key so it could consistently super attack. I think this guy getting key would be really good. You could also say maybe he stacks, like permanently attack and defense stack forever, and then like, okay, well if you permanently stacks attack and defense, he doesn't even have to necessarily keep like that 30% reduction after he attacks, right? I mean, it would be ideal, but it could be a thing where, or maybe he doesn't even need necessarily as much damage reduction at the start of turn, because like let's say in Omega he's going to be stacking up so much that like Omega's AoEs would do nothing to him regardless. So that would be cool. But it's like if he doesn't have like that ideal scenario where it's like the damage reduction before he attacks, he's going to be pretty much unrunnable in those 2 stages. I just don't see why you would choose to use him, but he would be good in every other stage in the game basically, because no other fights have AoEs like that besides the Red Zone Broly. But you know, I feel like no one really runs Red Zone DBS Broly anymore, right? I mean, if we're judging units, we want to judge them on the newer stages. Dude, there's so much to talk about, but look at his stats: 23k, 20k, 12.8k. We have Demong Goddor. I don't know what they're gonna do with this guy. I mean, ideally they make this high chance to dodge baseline, but he's like a debuffer unit. Like at best, he'll have the high chance to dodge. Maybe he'll have solid stats, and he'll just be a filler option for the team. Maybe if they want to add like, I don't know, rainbow orb changing or something unique to this guy, it's like, okay, there's a purpose to run him now. But like as of now, he is a super battle road unit, high chance to stun, lowers enemies attack and defense. Even that's only against one enemy, right? I don't know. Unless they change the essence of this guy's kit completely, I just don't see him being good. So there's not actually much for me to say about this guy. If there's going to be a character that I think would not really end up well, it would probably be this guy, honestly, because based on his kit, he's a super battle road unit, and super battle road isn't really relevant, I think, compared to like all these red zone stages. Solid stats though. Now next we have Toa. Toa could be really, really good. I mean, again, give her baseline high chance to dodge at bare minimum. Make her like raise defense for the turn, that'd be okay. Even greatly raise defense for the turn. This all allies key 3 and 30% attacking defense, make that up to 40%. Give her like 100% defense with each dodge she does. That'd be kind of crazy, right? And she has this ability right here. Extreme class allies 50% attack and defense, and then 50% HP recovery if you're under 50% HP or less. What if this is like extreme class allies attack and defense 50% for 2 turns? And what if it's a 2-turn buff? Because we all know nowadays all the rage about support units, like the best support units in the game for the most part, have 2-turn support buffs. So, or like multiple turn support, even some characters even do 3 turns. If they give this Tor some ability to get multiple turn support buffs, that'd be really insane. Like, what if it's like this? It's like great chance of attack plus 20% for all allies for 2 turns, and then same with defense. The only thing is that I wish there would be a way to tell this. Maybe if it's like, what if it's like also Q1? And then it's like, okay, I can tell if this is procced or not. But I mean, this being a 2-turn buff, I could realistically see that happen because it is restricted to falling under 50%. And I don't think that's really hard to do, but it's like there's still a restriction there. And yeah, I would like that. I mean, that would be crazy. That would be really, really, really good. Maybe it could be a thing where like they just scrap this completely, and it's like in slot 3 she gives like 15% attack and defense to all allies for like 3 turns or something like that. That would be pretty good. I think this Toa has like a really good chance at being good if they do design her the way that I would hope she is designed. I mean, there is a character that we had previously, which I don't know, does she have Master Magic? This character, where we hoped she was really good, but they kind of didn't give her what she should have gotten, I feel like, which there's no dodge in here. There's not having dodge in here. It's a little unfortunate because these support characters usually don't have the best stats themselves. So, I mean, we want these support characters to be able to survive in rare situations, especially if there's like a super attack in slot 3. Or again, these AoE enemies, right? Which at the time, there wasn't much AoE enemies for the Supreme Kai time, so yeah, that is a little bit different, but yeah, I did not mean to close, so well, I guess we might as well just close these characters just a little bit. Well, actually, I probably shouldn't have done that. Whatever. Demigo Makioka form. I mean, this guy, I think he has a pretty good chance of being good. My thought of this guy, again, he gets 10% attack per crossover category ally. What if it's like 10%? No, it's like, let's say even 20% attack and defense. And then 10% chance to dodge per crossover or Realm of Gods category ally in the team. So that you could run this guy in Realm of Gods. Because there's only really good teams right now. I feel like, I guess these 3 teams technically. Realm of Gods, led by Fusions of Masu, which he is under the 200% for. I was going to say Dragon Ball Heroes, led by, I assume, I mean, even if the new Rose doesn't lead Heroes, I think he could lead Crossover. I think Hearts, you know, could still be a good Dragon Ball Heroes leader as well. I think Hearts, like, him having, like, the ability to get more extreme class crossover units would be really good. And having all extreme class allies, because then you could transform them earlier in these shorter content fights, right? But Hearts actually is still, like, pretty nicely designed. If you give him like a full dodge build, I think he could cook. Even right now, Hearts is not like terrible because he has the guard ability, which, you know, guard ability helps characters age quite well, and he's like a support unit, so that's pretty good. I mean, he'll be providing 3 key and 50% support. That's pretty strong, I think. But yeah, Time Travelers as well, again, is led by Hearts, so like that team technically would be able to count, but I'm thinking like Realm of Gods crossover, because like you could build like a crossover Time Travelers team, right? That'd be really good. Make this like key 3 and 40% attacking defense to extreme class. Give him attacking defense when attacking, obviously as top of that, then make this a greatly raised attacking defense for 1 turn. That would also be really, really good. I think that would be a great thing to see from this Demong Goddor. Dude, we're already 15 minutes in. There's so many to talk about. That's kind of crazy. Maybe I should have split these up, but I should have started with Vegito a few days ago, but I just kind of forgot. Merror, I don't know what they're going to do with him. I mean, I had an idea where it's like, okay, he's greatly stacking defense, right? This Merror. Make his like attacking defense like 150%, and then maybe he gets like 50% when attacking. But then it could be a thing where, let's say for the first 5 turns, he has like 50, 60, even 70% reduction. Probably 70% is too high. Or something Matt Sningen said, I remember, is like he gets Golden Frieza type damage reduction, where turn 1 he's like at 90%, and then over the next few turns it goes lower and lower. But as his damage reduction goes lower and lower, he's greatly stacking defense higher and higher. So it's like basically not in Goku Black, where he's actually going to be pretty solid early on in the fights, and then later on in the fights, like against someone like Omega, you could really take advantage of the greatly raising defense permanently. Give him some additionals. He can debuff Omega as well. Omega in the first phase has the debuffing ability, where I guess he has the ability to be Attack Lord, which would really help you out against some of your potential weaker units that are on the team. So I mean, something like that would be good, but if they don't really go that route, he's pretty much going to be only like a potentially relevant unit against Omega, which, you know, is not the worst thing ever, having like these stacker units against Omega, but you know, most of the fights are short, so you might not be able to take advantage of this guy stacking, just like in Goku Black, right? I think that's the biggest issue with this Merror in terms of his potential. Black Massian, I don't know, he seems like he's just going to be a generic hard hitter with like solid defense. Like, he has the 60% attack, meaning defense to crit if there's 3 or more crossover allies. Attacking defense 160% when key is 6 or more, then he gets key 2 when key is 10 or more. Maybe they give him stacking, greatly raise attacking defense for the turn. Maybe some additionals. I just don't know where they're going to go with this guy. I think this guy also is a character I'm not really like, oh yeah, this character, you know, I could see him being really, really good based on what he has. A character I do see being really good based on what he has is this Dark Mask King. I mean, where is he? His stats, like, the Massian stats are better, kind of. Not really, no, because this guy has, I think, a pretty solid HP, 18.3k HP. Then decent stats right there. I mean, let's say 150% attacking defense, then another 150% defense for 5 turns. What they should do, they should make this after receiving an attack or evading an attack, just like the full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So it's a thing where you could dodge the first attack there, but give this guy like a full dodge build as he's in, and then like you can get the full defense up like that. He has guard if there's another heroes category ally attacking in the same turn. That's really good. If they want to give him something on top of that, I think like make him like a really strong slot 1 unit, where it's like in slot 1, let's say he gets 30% reduction, or in slot 1 he gets an extra 100% defense, and then like even like potentially like some defense support. That could be good. I don't know if they would give him like stacking defense or anything, but like, you know, what if it's like raises defense for 3 turns or something like that, right? And then he has the 10% HP recovery based on the damage he's dealt. I don't really think because of that they're going to make him hit too hard, so I think they'll probably focus on him defensively, which is what we want. Ideally, we want him to be focused on defensively. Usually they're scared of characters with mechanics like this for some reason, so I don't really think they're going to focus on him offensively, but I think defensively, like, he already has the guard, the multiplicative defense right here. They'll probably give him, I mean, hopefully defense raise this could easily be a character I seem like, yeah, raises attack for the turn, and then that's all he gets on his super attack effect. Like, That's a possibility. I could easily see them going down that route. But yeah, I'm excited for Dark Mask King. Lags here. I mean, she has a medium chance to dodge. Make that at least high chance. And then this is weird. Like, she gets buffs based on the enemy's HP. Like, very interesting. Then she gets this buff. Crit plus 6% every time the character attacks an enemy who's debuffed. And it's like, this is such a useless buff here. I mean, make her give support and give her dodge. and then she's good. I don't know. I'm not sure what this lag is going to look like, but again, let's take a look at what you guys are saying in regards to the Dragon Ball Heroes characters. I'm sure most of the comments probably are going to be talking about Vegito and Broly, maybe Towa. But yeah, I think most of the comments Vegito, Broly. I mean, this is a very villain-centric year though, which is I think is really good. Last year we got a bunch of heroes like superclass units. Like heroes superclass this year might actually be struggling because we're getting Vegito. We're getting, yeah, it's basically the Vegito and then the blue Vegeta. And then for extreme class there's Rose, there's Broly, there is the Dark Modified Janemba Awakening, the Cooler Awakening, there is the Scientist Towa free-to-play unit coming out. On top of that, who's the other character that is releasing? The Dark King Fu. Like, all those characters are extreme class. Most of the characters here are extreme class. There's literally Vegito is the only super class character that's getting an easy A here. And then I think Broly kind of counts a little. You could run them in super class teams, but let's just hope this year the teams aren't restricted to like you needing a full super class rotation or extreme class. But I mean, Hearts will really eat this year, I think, quite a lot. Extreme class heroes is going to be really good, and this could be like potentially one of the good villain teams like in the game, like one of the best villain teams. So fingers crossed that they kill it with some of these easy A's and the units. That could be really, really cool to see. But let's go ahead and take a look here at what you guys are thinking. You would like if they were good. That's very fair. Superclass heroes is screwed. Yeah, that's all. I mean, to be honest, I said this because Serena said this earlier. I saw that reply, but excuse me. Superclass is gonna be less likely to be good. I mean, who would Superclass even have based on this team? I mean, the Limit Breaker Vegito, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. I mean, I think Super Saiyan 4 Gohan could be good. But like, who else would you run for Superclass heroes? I guess Great Saiyaman 3 could be a solid option. But like Pan, like the Superclass version of this team is not going to be looking too hot. Not at all. It's all on the villains. That's kind of crazy, huh? That is really crazy. No, details are not tonight. Only the Dokkan event teaser. You want them all to be good in current content? That'd be nice. Don't restrict them to heroes. You want King Vegeta to be cracked in slot 1. Corroded Body Mind needs one really bad. Him and Max Vegeta could get insane buffs, especially King Vegeta. I mean, yeah, Corroded Body Mind would get a lot of help from the those like masked characters. We got the Rose, right? That's coming out as well. Give Merror a guard. I mean, if they give Merror a guard with this greatly stacking defense, that would be pretty crazy. Would be nice to make easy concepts. I mean, I could like make actual official concepts for Twitter, but I feel like that'd be a lot. Maybe we'll see. I mean, that's kind of what this video is, I think. Make them actually good on their own team if that's the goal. The heroes team should be top 5 at the very minimum by the end of the year. If they are all runnable on all their teams, that's all you could ask for. Any extremes really, especially extreme physical, that has been awkward the most. So I'm assuming, yeah, just extreme physical you're saying has sucked, which is fair. Be useful, not get outdated in a month. Good units. Demong Goddor become a great defense support unit for LR Fusion Zamasu's team. Since he has support for extreme classes, make it better and give him defense, and Zamasu gets a buff. And yeah, again, Demong Goddor is on Zamasu's 200%. I think people are really excited for Demong Goddor. Real up on Broly from on the attack and partly in the defense, like 5 to 7 turns. I mean, are you saying you hope like Broly, like what happens is he attacks and then these stats are kept for like multiple turns? I'm not sure how that would work, but that could be interesting. A Broly that could tank. I'm not sure about this Broly tanking maybe, but I think the new one could be a pretty good tank, hopefully. Fun to use, damage reduction. If you had to rank which one would be the best to worst, Vegito, then Toa, then Dark Mask King. I think like these three probably have the really good probability of being the best ones. Demigra, I think, also has a really good possibility. It's like these characters I'm kind of scared of. Super Mirror, Deborah, Broly, and Black Massian. Those are the ones I'm worried about. But then these four, I think I'm like potentially excited for. But we'll see, we'll see. I think Vegito has the best chance of being good, because he's the only one in this cast that has like a way to combat super attacks. Well, I guess Dark Mask King does with his guard, right? But we'll see. Dark Mask gets good defense with guard already. Okay, well, there you go. 100% reduction and then make him the ass. Okay. Let's see the quotes here. Blah, blah, heroes. Someone remembers this guy was actually really dominant. Azize will be wonderful. Remember doing Vegeta family versus Pure Saiyans, ESPR and clearing it. Yeah, this guy and the Black Massian were a really good rotation for that Super Battle Road. That was pretty good. Super Saiyan 4 runnable with LR full power Super Saiyan 4. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, if this guy's giving like damage reduction support, like 10%, imagine Super Saiyan 4 full power LR getting like an extra 10% reduction. Imagine Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, like so many of these characters that are Super Saiyan 4s, they all like get like damage reduction, like base defense. That would be pretty cool. Lags is one to rip off a character from Galaxy Express, so make her good. Okay. Your first Link level 10 unit is going to ECA. Yeah, I mean, this guy, I think he has a really good chance of being good. Want them all to be pink, but they won't, so make at least make Vegito great, since he and Toa aren't as restriction. They have a chance to thrive. Okay. Toa with a 70% chance to dodge and buff the support and more defense. Vegito more defense, maybe 2-turn support. That'd be interesting. One of them, you want them to do damage? Well, that'll be Broly. I think Broly will be the big damage dealer. Guard and 50% reduction to all of them. Okay. And then please no heroes restrictions. Look, a lot of these characters, like Easy Aang here, aren't actually really restricted to heroes, so that's a good thing. But let me know what you guys want to see from these Easy A's. Again, the Dokkan event teaser will be in about 3 hours from the time this video actually goes up. But I'll catch you guys then, and thanks for watching. 27 minutes. Oh my goodness. Peace out.